School sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner, Vic Evans here in the Floor Concept Studios. Don't forget the Kicking It text line wide open, 270-903-0389. Don't forget to see our guys over there on Salem Drive at Kicking It. But before we jump into the top 10, some player of the weeks to give away, we'll start things off with the Tell City Marksmen, off to a 1-2 start to start the year. Losses to Heritage Hills and rival Perry Central, but that was in our 105-7 game of the week back on Friday night. But they did beat North Posey 4-3, and moving forward, good prospects there for the Marksmen baseball team. Their coverage is always brought to you by Everybody Fun and Fitness. And this week's Marksman of the Week will be Ethan Schrainer. 2 RBIs in the win for Tell City, looking to get back on the winning side of things in games this week. Also outside the top 10 will be the McLean County Cougars, 5-6 overall on the season. But Coach Lynham had them playing good over spring break, 3-2 record versus Ohio schools. They got some wins down there in Fort Walton there on spring break. They do have Edmonson County in the All-A tonight. That game is at 6 o'clock. It'll be the lone baseball game, as Vic talked about. Hancock County and Catholic moved due to some lighting situations. The Hancock County Catholic baseball game will be moved to tomorrow at 6 o'clock tonight. But tonight will be Edmonson and the McLean County Cougars. Cougars looking to get to 6-6 on the season and advance to that All-A championship game with the win tonight. Our BF Evans Ford Cougar of the Week will be Houston Whitaker, 13 hits, a 448 average, 5 doubles, 2 home runs, and 13 RBIs for Whitaker, who's off to a tremendous start for the Cougars so far this season. Now we'll move it along to our Canty Dairy Queen top 10. That's Canty Dairy Queen, New Hartford Road, and Beaver Dam location right there next to the high school. At the 10th spot will be the Henderson County Colonels, 5-7 on the season. A little bit of a slow start, a little bit of a surprise for me. The Colonels had a lot coming back, and I'm expecting this team to be kind of a top 5, top 7 team overall on the season. But they only went 2-2 over spring break with losses to Caldwell County and Breckenridge County. They did get wins over Grayson County and Franklin. In that win over Franklin, Seth Galloway, 6 2/3 innings pitched, only gave up 5 hits to get the win on the mound for the Colonels tonight. They've got Central, a set with Union County later this week to get district play started. And our Kicking It player of the week will be on the softball side for the Henderson County Colonels. Be sure and tune in tomorrow to see if they can hold on to that one spot. We'll settle it on the field this week between Davis County Henderson and our right implement game of the week on Thursday as the girls take on the Lady Panthers out there in a 1-2 matchup to see who is 1 and who is 2 on tomorrow's show here on Live at 5. But we'll move it to the 9th spot now, and that's where Breckenridge County is sitting, 6-7 overall on the season. Went 1-2 over spring break, stayed at home and hosted some teams that losses to Franklin and a tough 2-1 defeat to Apollo. But they did get a nice win, 3-2 over Henderson County. They've got North Hardin tonight, Grayson County tomorrow, and then Apollo again later this week for Breckenridge County. But our St. Camillus Urgent Care Fighting Tiger of the Week will be Wyatt Burnett. 3 hits and over 6 innings pitched on the season. He drove in the only earned run in the big win for Breckenridge County this past week. And Burnett he's the kind of a guy that's coming on from basketball for football and then basketball, and now starting to get his baseball legs under him a little bit, Vic.
Yeah, I mean, as you saw in the German American Bank boys stat league, he's sitting there tied for second for extra base hits too with 8. But sorry, I was away for a second. We had some breaking news that we can break right here.
All right.
Massive breaking news.
So you're like Adam Schefter. You like, as soon as we're going back on the air, you're like, it's all you. And I'm like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, well, breaking news. On BIO tonight, they put the McLean County and Owensboro, or the Hancock County Owensboro County baseball game back on for the night at 7:30.
Oh. Well, I just announced that it was tomorrow. So we just talked about this in the intro. It's fluid by the minute.
Yeah, fluid. Yeah, it is back on. I guess they got the lights fixed at McLean. Literally, Joe Chrisley, while we were on the air, my phone went off ringing.
Oh, my gosh.
And I couldn't answer it. And so I was like, well, I guess I better answer. Well, then I get a text saying, game's back on. I'm on my way to McLean County. Well, I had to call him and be like, Well, let me make sure that we can get it on and ready to go because we were told the game was off. And from what I hear, Hancock County players have been told it was off, and then they had to go on and say, all right, they're playing. So BIO.
Kind of a mess, right?
It is kind of a mess. Yeah. The always kind of a mess. But BIO tonight at 7:30 will be a really good matchup. Owensboro Catholic versus Hancock County in the All-A Regional. Maybe.
It's fluid. As of right now at 5:29, the game is on for 7:30.
If it does not happen, Rob may throw something at somebody because.
Well, if it doesn't happen, just know that this one is completely out of our control.
They've all been out of our control.
Yeah,
We've had to rework the schedule like 6 times now.
But right now, WBO, Catholic, Hancock County later on. Right now, we just talked about McLean County. Edmondson will be game 1, and that game kicking off here in just a little bit over there in McLean County. But, Wyatt Burnett there in the was it Vineyard Primary Care stat leaders that were
No, German American Bank.
Vineyard Primary Care is the softball side.
Girls,
apologies.
Yes.
And again, lots of text, lots of Twitter messages. We can't control who updates the stats. I mean, we can't. Just FYI.
Hey, I re-updated them. I gave them till.
What I'm starting to learn is that maybe Tuesday is the right day for Vineyard Primary Care and German American
Here's
Bank.
the problem: you do that, then they play games on Monday, and you're going to get the same thing. Parents are going to
right, but at least I think what I'm seeing is that a lot of coaches get their downtime at school, and that's when they update. Is what I'm assuming because
hold on now, the only ones that had
Monday morning, they're not there. But when you check them Monday afternoon, sometimes they're up. This is a conversation we're having on the air.
Right.
We'll probably talk about this.
Now, there's a lot of them that are not updated. There are a few. They haven't been updated in weeks, so it doesn't matter when we do it.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that didn't even update games while they're on spring, like the results when they're on spring break.
No, I mean, there's not a good. The one reason we chose Monday is because there's no games on Sunday, and it gets everybody a chance to reset everything. And then when you put them out there, they're up to date. Where if you did it on Tuesday and the games were played on Monday and they're not in there yet, I don't know if there's a good day to do it.
No, it's always something.
Hey, all we can do is by what is on the KHSA scoreboard. So if you have a child of yours that are somewhere in extra base hits, like I did it all the way up, and we actually made it. There was one change there because Owensboro updated all their games this morning. I didn't turn these in until about 11:30 to get the graphic done, and so I was updating them all the way till then. And Owensboro had somebody that jumped in, into the ERA. So if it's your child's not on there and his numbers are good enough to be on there, it's not on us.
Yeah, I think people are starting to catch on. People are starting to know that whether it's updated or not. So, but that being said, that's kind of the story with the stat leader. Let's move it to the 8th spot, and that's where Owensboro, speaking of the Devil, is sitting at 5-5. They went 1-3 over spring break with losses to some Florida teams, but they did get a victory, get a win over Victory Christian. No stats were updated as of this morning. That's whenever I was looking into this. So. Apologies, but they weren't there at the time, so nothing really I can update. They do have Apollo later this week that does the Red Devils, so it should, we'll get that straightened out as it goes, and definitely we'll try to get that.
I had them straightened out because I had, kind of Hallmark jumped into the top 10 in ERA.
And they host Ohio County tonight, like you talked about, and our Devil game of the week will be tomorrow at Davis County. We'll be live from Panther Field as the Devils and Panthers hook up for the first time this year. They do have Muhlenberg a little bit later this week. But our Roads and Roads Red Devil week will be on the softball side this week. At the 7th spot is another team. That was a team that was missing a game, but they've updated it now. They're 7-6 on the season is the Ohio County Eagles. They went 1-4 down there in Panama and struggled a little bit. They're kind of a team that started slow. It came on strong, struggled a little bit. But, it is what it is. You go out on the road, you kind of expect those types of results when you're playing that many games in such a short day. They're back in action tonight against Owensboro. They do have a 10th district set. I love how the other districts do these sets, Thursday and Friday with McLean County.
That's the way all of them should be.
I agree. But our Canty Dairy Queen Eagle of the Week this week will be Matthew Smith, hitting .393 with 11 hits, 9 stolen bases. He's also 2-0 on the mound with a .064 ERA and 11 innings pitched for Matthew Smith and the Ohio County Eagles. At the 6th spot, we'll keep it in the 10th district, and that's where Muhlenberg sits 8-5. This is a team that's hot and cold, right? I mean, it started red hot, tailed off, and now they're hot again. They went 4-1 over spring break. Wins over Washington, Bath County, Bullitt Central, and Fern Creek. They got Logan tonight. They host Bowling Green tomorrow. They got Owensboro a little later this week, but our FWH Legal Mustang of the week will be Mr. Caden Ray. 458 average at the time of this. He did hit 3 bombs, over 10 RBIs on the season. Waiting for those to be updated, but Caden Ray hitting bombs, Vic. And this is kind of, I think this is a season where I've seen the kids starting to really get the home run numbers up. Normally 2 or 3 for the season is what you'd expect. Some of these guys are already 3, 4, 5 homers on the season so far. Yeah, and Caden Ray is one of the top players in the region. Him and Eli DeBoer, tied in there with I think 6 extra base hits. But like I said, Muhlenberg's been the hot team. You win 4 straight, you lose 4 straight, you win 4 out of 5. So I guess whatever it is. Yeah. So it's just you just want to get to that hot streak right around regional tournament time. What you want. You'll be set if you're the Muhlenberg County Mustangs. We'll take a break and come back, do 5 through 1. Kansas Dairy Queen Top 10 live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
Registration for KFL is open now till July 8th.